Hello and welcome to the Strategic Bookkeeper podcast. For today's episode, what I've decided to do is give you the audio version of the event that I just ran. So I've just run a free training event. I only run them 3 times a year as well. And this is the 7 steps to a thriving practice and the 5 big keys. Because it is audio, you are not going to see the slides. And sometimes the slides are really, really helpful. So you can reach out to us on my team, might drop some links in so you can get access to a recording of this 7 steps to a thriving practice training event that we are just wrapping up. I've just run 2, one for the Australia Pacific region, one for the US Canada time zone, and I'm running one shortly for the UK time zone, okay, because I do serve bookkeepers all over the world. So if you want to see the slides and make more sense and use the education from the 7 steps to a thriving practice, we'll make that available to you. But for now, as a busy multitasking mum or dad, or as a busy multitasking bookkeeper, I'm going to make this available as an audio in this podcast, as I'm sure that you will get tons of value, tons of education so that you can actually take action. So without further ado, let's jump into the podcast. I'm Jeannie Savage, the Strategic Bookkeeper. I've been in practice for 14 years, but more importantly, 5 years in, I achieved a lifestyle practice. This means I scaled my business, could take my hands off the wheel, and draw a nice 6-figure income while being time rich. And that's what I call my dream on my terms. I was recently awarded Women in Finance Innovator of the Year, recognizing my book, my podcast, my program, and my impact globally. The Strategic Bookkeeper is my life's work, and the opportunity to help bookkeepers globally achieve the income and lifestyle that sets them free absolutely fills my cup. Please do connect with me on socials at the Strategic Bookkeepers Way private Facebook group, or shoot me an email, hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global. So welcome everyone as you come into the room. About 20 beautiful humans in the room that have chosen to show up today. Okay. And that is such a massive indicator of whether we're going to have success. Yeah. So I'm always going to show up and be a little bit tough, Coach Jeannie. So welcome. I'm Jeannie. I'm the Strategic Bookkeeper. I'm all about loving and celebrating ourselves just like we love and celebrate others. So I am very proud to be a multi-award winning entrepreneur, bookkeeper, author, speaker, trainer, coach. Last year, and I'm currently holding an award, which is Women in Finance Australia Innovator of the Year. I can tell you where I was when I found out I won that. That is the most meaningful award that I have won to date, as it recognizes my contribution to my industry, my life's purpose. Now, I'll just move on. So the next thing I might let you know, I'm going to get to the agenda in a second, but I love to tell you how I roll. And how I roll is I am a real mix of structured agenda. So in front of me here, I've got notes, because I'm a trainer and assessor, and I want you to get the absolute most out of our time today. We've got a short time together, okay? So welcome to the 7 steps to a thriving practice with delighted clients and your dream on your terms. Next thing I need to know in order to help you is just how much you know about me, okay? So know nothing about you, Jeannie, or have you read my book? Do you tune into my podcast? I am going to tell everyone the first action you need to take is to read my book. Yeah, it's transformational. It's in audiobook form, hardcover, ebook. There's no excuses. And with my tough coach hat on, the first thing I'm going to push you to do is to set yourself a goal of reading the book. The audiobook is less than 6 hours long. So you can speed me up 1.2 speed. I've tried it. It's not too bad. That means that an hour a day while you're multitasking. I am the mum of a special needs child. I'm just as busy as everyone else. He doesn't even go outside the house for school. Okay, so I built my content. I built everything for the busy multitasking mum and dad. All right. I have a particular passion for supporting women. However, we have wonderful men in our program today. David is here, one of our tribe members, okay? The other thing I want to mention is that this is a system built by a bookkeeper for bookkeepers, okay? So when the voice of shame comes up and says, you can't do this, you can do this, I built it for you. And I won't accept anything but being able to help 100% of the people that get in front of me. That's a leader's role. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure that you understand a little bit about me as it relates to you and your journey. I have been in practice for 14 years here in Australia. I'm 52 years old. Prior to that, I had a history with family business and other businesses, but I did help our family grow their business from their last business from 10 to 100 million. My father is an internationally renowned sales trainer, and he's an iconic Australian entrepreneur. My mother, an accountant. So I've ended up a management accountant, a strategic bookkeeper with a natural ability, having been raised by someone with that kind of brand marketing and selling acumen. Okay. So 5 years into starting my bookkeeping practice, with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, I managed to scale into a lifestyle practice. What does that mean? Well, that meant that I could finally, good timing, because I was coming into separation. I was 5 years, my son was 5. We realized that he was on the spectrum. It was hard. My health had deteriorated, and scaling into lifestyle practice was 6-figure income. Okay, like, whoo, everything sorted, and tons of time wealth. So I could prioritize my health. So I'm here today. Yeah. So a deep desire was sparked to support women going through anything similar all over the world. And so when my son was 5, he's 14 now, there was just that desire in the pit of my stomach, okay, that I've eventually turned into the strategic bookkeeper. So what it's meant for me, it's meant my dream on my terms. Yeah, the income and lifestyle that I want and deserve. It's meant being able to prioritize my health physically, mentally, and spiritually, and I've never looked back. Now, as we move into our agenda, I am going to let you know that I would love at any time comments, questions, suggestions in the chat box. I'm going to try and give you massive bang for buck. So I'm going to show you the 7 steps and the 5 big keys. We're going to look at facts. We're going to look at mistakes, misconceptions, and what could be holding you back, how and why of using the 7 steps. I want you to learn, and I want you to be able to take action. Okay. And then I'm going to show you the transformation program, because the doors to the transformation program open today. I only open the doors every 4 months. Okay. So they are opening today, and we have got information and bonus specials that happen at the end. All right. Let's dive into the 7 steps to a thriving practice. This is also my 7 ingredients that you find in my book. It is to a large extent quite linear: brand, menu, attraction, conversion, succession, systems, and team. But these are also ingredients that work well when combined together. Okay. And the 5 big keys to making them work. Okay. Statement of fact: to run a successful bookkeeping practice, you need to find, onboard, and retain clients without price as a priority. Okay. And as we go through 3 statements of fact, could I ask you to drop into the chat box, I agree, that sounds right, yes, or no, that doesn't sound right. Okay. So that's the first one. And these days, you need to stay relevant and thrive in a world of automation, AI, robotics, and cheap labor. Yeah. And eventually, you may want to recruit and manage a winning team and need systems and processes too. So I would just love to know, because it's always nice to have interaction rather than crickets. Okay. Would you agree with what I just said there? Yeah. So would you agree that we need to run a successful bookkeeping practice, you need to find, onboard, and retain clients without price as a priority? Not just find clients, but onboard them and retain them. Yeah. Not lose them to an accountant that just said they could do everything. Not lose them to a competitor that was cheaper. Would you agree that you need to stay relevant and thrive in a world of automation, AI, robotics, and cheap labor? Would you agree that eventually you might want to recruit and manage a winning team and need systems and processes too? Amazing. Because I actually want to know. If anyone disagrees with me, I totally want to know. Okay. So thank you so much for interacting. Fact: 9 out of 10 bookkeepers will fail to thrive. They'll fail to earn more than they could in a good job. And you're in good company. I was failing in my first 5 years too. That's normal. That's natural. That's how I learnt. Okay. So this is the same as business statistics. 9 out of 10 entrepreneurs will fail in the same way. Bookkeepers are no different. We're not excluded from this statistic. So 9 out of 10 bookkeepers will fail to earn more than they could in a good job. Okay. So next, I'm going to share my mistakes and why I was one of that 9 out of 10. Okay. And as I share the next slides, I'd like you to think about whether you're making any of these same mistakes, misconceptions. Okay. Because this is going to be the beginning of your action plan. So if you've got a pen and paper, writing actually facilitates action. Okay. I could go into a lot of stuff on training and assessing, but unless you're a visual or an auditory learner, which is not most people, it's not me, in one ear and out the other, you're going to want to rinse, repeat, and also write things down. Okay. So why do 9 out of 10 bookkeepers fail? My experience, why I was failing. See if you can relate. So I've been in practice for 14 years. It took me 5 years to build the income and lifestyle I coveted. Early on, here's what held me back. I want you to think about how long you've been in practice. So early on, I focused on the what rather than why, meaning I thought the most important thing was my technical skill and willingness to do the job. I focused on finding new clients as how to grow. Yeah. I focused on finding new clients as how to grow, but I didn't have the assets and strategies in place to turn new clients into a small and mighty practice with high income and time wealth. And I'm just going to go back over these. So I just want you to think about whether you do that too. Like I remember opening my practice, going, here I go. I'm going to be an awesome bookkeeper. I'm going to open for business and I'll sell bookkeeping. People don't buy what we do. They buy why we do it. And all of that's inside my book. And now I know that a lot of you haven't read the book. I'm going to connect this slide to my book. So when you read my book, when you commit to doing that education for an hour a day for 7 days, I'm going to push you right now to dig in and do it. Okay. Then this is going to make so much more sense. So, well, pretty much 100% of bookkeepers, when they start out, focus on finding new clients as how to grow. But finding new clients is like planting seeds in the ground. It's actually to understand what you need to do when you find that client and also how to maximize the opportunity that exists. I'm going to show you that today. Okay, because I lacked the assets and strategies that make it easy. And we've got tribe members in the room that are leveraging assets and strategies. Feel free to say anything you like about the hustle versus using the assets and strategies. So I certainly didn't know. And I want you to ask yourself as I share these, as you think about the action that you're going to take. Okay. So for example, if you thought that one of the actions is to get rid of that thinking. Yeah. So what we do is not as important as why we do it. And why we do it is why we exist in the eyes of our clients. And that is to help them do better in business. We'll get into more of this today, okay? So if you've been focusing on finding new clients, like find a new client, charge them 2 or 3 times what I used to get paid as an employee, that'll lead to a highly profitable practice and the practice of my dreams. No, it won't, okay? Having all the pieces of the puzzle in place will. This is why 9 out of 10 bookkeepers fail. We're looking at this right now. I certainly didn't know what a brand was or why I needed one. The kind of brand assets that would work as a sales machine, how to create a pipeline of sales, also known as work, pipeline, yeah? How transformational products and pricing strategy would be to my profit and client satisfaction. I was a B leader and a B manager, so I cultivated a time and joy-sucking B team. Okay, so can you relate? I'm just going to go to the chat for a second. So we have got, so Jessica says, I have imposter syndrome. I am not technically skilled enough for an in-practice firm job. However, on the other hand, I am being told I am too overqualified for junior roles. So why should I be starting out? So on the technical skills side, there are lots of people that can support you. Okay, Jessica? And I would say jump into the Strategic Bookkeepers Way Facebook group and look for Deb Stevenson just to see if you can organize or just start following Deb and to have a chat with her. So there's a lot of groups that will help you technically, yeah, if you learn how to win the work. So in terms of 9 out of 10 bookkeepers failing to earn more than they could in a good job, this added up to me building a busy practice. Absolutely. I got to 2015 and we were busy and I had lots of staff. Yeah. I had well over 5 staff, Today, I do more turnover, more profit with 2 staff than I did with 5 staff. So this added up to me building a busy practice, not a thriving one. High revenue, low profit. And that is what 9 out of 10 bookkeepers are doing. And I hear bookkeepers talk about their revenue and their ability to find clients, and I'm onboarding staff, and that is not the way to a thriving practice, okay? A busy practice builds revenue. A thriving one builds profit and time using assets and strategies. So now we've looked at facts and where you might be going wrong and the wrong way to think. Yeah. Now let's look at how to use the 7 steps. So these are the 7 steps or ingredients, and I'll keep my eye on the chat. And also, Jessica, for imposter syndrome, I did some podcasts recently around the critics, quieting the critics. It's a real mindset one, so have a look at that. All right, so how to use the 7 steps. So these are the 7 steps or ingredients that when I reflected to build the Strategic Bookkeeper Transformation Program and even to write the book, I had to reflect on how I built my practice that gave me 6-figure income and lots and lots and lots of time wealth. Yeah. And these are the 7 things that I did that I combined. Okay. And this is exactly what the tribe in my transformation program uses as well. So one of them, actually, it's Deb that I mentioned a second ago. She has just reported that in 12 months in the program, or not quite 12 months, she's increased revenue by 270%, but she has increased profit by 330%, because I'm less interested in your revenue than I am your profit. Okay. So that's an example of a result from the tribe. Okay. And she's on my podcast, episode 48, where you can hear from Deb. So to explain how to use the 7 steps, I'm going to reflect on my own experience again. So if I was starting from scratch all over again, I would build a Ferrari. And I say that because we use this all the time in the tribe, in the program. So when you start out in practice and it's all about what you do and being a great technician, and then you might get a bit of traction, get some clients, and you think this is going to work, this is going to be amazing. And then eventually you realize that it's not working. Like you're getting busier, but something's missing, something's not right. Like the revenue's going up, you're onboarding staff, you're starting to feel the cracks in the foundation. It's like you're in a car speeding down the highway and it needs to be fixed. Right. And I had the car speeding down the highway that needed to be fixed. And in the tribe, 80% of who I serve is in practice bookkeepers with the car speeding down the highway that needs to be fixed. And they totally get it. So if I was starting all over again, I'd build a Ferrari, okay, by using the 7 steps and the 5 big keys. As we move through the next slides, I want you to use them as a bit of a diagnostics so that you can understand what you need to do. So diagnostics and build your action plan. Okay, so I want you to go, okay, well, I didn't know that. What's my action plan? It's like, so for example, brand, step 1, I'd build a simple strategic brand that would be the foundation of my success. In my book, I give you all the information on that. I even give you an exercise book. I'll tell you right now that I didn't even know what a brand was. A brand is not your website, your logo. I thought it was your logo. Yeah. Your brand is your organization's personality. Yeah. And this is the foundation of how you'll connect to your audience and make everything easier. I promise you. Okay. So I'm going to give you the headlines more than the detail right now. And please throw questions, comments, suggestions in the chat box. Yeah. This is a safe space to say anything. Unlike some events I've been to where I feel like the emperor has no clothes, but I can't ask, I can't say anything, okay? So step 2, I'd build key brand assets that worked like a sales machine. So when you have your brand nailed, which is why you exist in the eyes of your client, which ultimately is like your vision and your mission. So your vision is why. For example, you want to help entrepreneurs do better in business. Yeah, that's just an example. Your mission is how you're going to do that. So how I'm going to do it is to give them step 1, pillar 1 of success for any business, which is up-to-date, accurate bookkeeping records. Yeah. So that might be how I'm going to do it. Once you've got your organization's personality nailed, which once again, I explained in the book, then you're able to actually build the brand assets, and brand assets are a logo, a website, things that work. Like we just had one of the tribe members with polka dot accounts. Inside the program, I have intellectual property that helps you name your business. And it's so exciting to see her organization's personality come together from brand story. Okay, that's a brand story name. It's absolutely tickled pink with that. Okay, so that's what I do, step 2. And your menu is a key brand asset that we showcase in our signature brochure. So step 3, I'd build attraction assets and strategies that created a pipeline of pre-sold clients. Okay, that's what you want. You want a pipeline, a visible and invisible pipeline of business owners going through the customer journey. Some you can see because they've reached out and said, hi, I need some help. Some you can't see because they're engaged in your brand assets, like your website, your social media. We looked at 10 key things in our program today. I haven't got the list handy, but we have a done for you event, for example, that you just broadcast. We talk about the audience attraction strategies like networking and partnerships, but then how you engage that audience so that you're creating a pipeline. Yeah. So if I was building my Ferrari, I'd build that attraction assets and strategies. Yeah. That created a pipeline of pre-sold clients. The event is definitely one of my favorites. Okay. So step 4, conversion. I'd build a conversion process that guaranteed max prospects press go without price as a priority. So in my book, each one of these 7 steps is a chapter, and conversion is quite a nice, simple, linear chapter. Yeah. You still need to build the assets. You still need to use the strategies, but there are key strategies here that mean that you can, for example, when the tribe comes through and we give them all this, and within a couple of weeks, you can hit the ground running, you've got it all. You get 10 years done for you, go. And then they get a new prospective client come through and they use the conversion process and all the other things. They're onboarding that person that may not have onboarded before. They can't press go fast enough, and it's twice the rates that they charged before. Okay, so I'd build a conversion process that did all that. Step 5, succession. Succession just means what's next. What's next on the menu for your clients? Yeah. So it's a system of advisory built by a bookkeeper for bookkeepers. I'd build a system of strategic bookkeeping and sell it from the get-go so my profits and my client satisfaction soared. Okay, you've all been sold advisory. So I've created a system of advisory built by a bookkeeper for bookkeepers. It's called Strategic Bookkeeping. Yeah. Also, I'm going to connect to the program a bit. The other thing is this helps me explain what you need to do too. So another example of an asset we give you done for you is the Better in Business podcast. So you can have a look at that. Joselle could drop the link in. So I built, like a crazy scientist, one of the things I built some years ago was the Better in Business podcast with this vision that I would bring the Strategic Bookkeeper Transformation Program to the globe, and that I would pitch all the bookkeepers in my tribe to create demand and desire. So you get a done for you podcast to send to your clients every fortnight that literally educates them on why they should onboard and retain with you without price as priority, and why they should upgrade from bookkeeping to strategic bookkeeping. Okay. Asset. To give you an example, okay, you can absolutely launch your own podcast. Mine is strategically done for you. So just as an example in the program, we show you how to do 2 things. So upgrade existing clients, but for new clients, so you've got your legacy clients, for new clients, we show you how to sell them advisory from the get-go, which you can charge 3 or more times more for than you can basic bookkeeping. I won't go into why right now. Trust me now, believe me later. Okay. Step 6, I'd build simple strategic systems that reduced keystrokes and boosted profit and client satisfaction. Okay. This is how my right hand Joe and I have reduced our team by natural attrition more and more and more, and continued to grow our revenue, grow our gross profit, and grow our net profit, is efficiency. Yeah. Number 7, success leaves clues, my friends. If I was building from the beginning again, I'd be a non-negotiable A leader, an A manager, so I could recruit and manage an A team that would give me income and time well. I would say for at least probably the first 8 years in practice, I didn't understand this. I was a B leader and a B manager. So I recruited and I managed a B team. Yeah. And I would love to know in the chat box across the 7 steps, any comments, questions, suggestions that you have. I know we're going a little bit fast and furious as you're getting a lot of the headlines today. Okay. The book gives you more of the detail, and we'll see what time we've got to give you, make more sense of this. And I've got more slides for detail. Okay. Okay. So now I want to look at how to use the 5 big keys. So way back when I was writing the book, and I was also working out, I'm going to roll this program out to bookkeepers globally. I'm just having a look at a comment here. Looking forward to the team chapter in the book. It is such, do you know what? The thing that will make all the difference is understanding what it is to be a manager and a leader, and it will explain all of that. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to give you really these diamonds, these gold nuggets. Can you explain the difference between a B leader and a B manager? Yes, I probably can, Coral. So when I was a B leader and a B manager, I was a people pleaser. I wanted to avoid conflict. Yeah. The irony in doing that, you end up with more conflict. So I'll explain what an A manager is first, or an A leader. We're non-negotiable and we are no apologies, so to speak. So an A manager has 5 areas of focus, and they do them 100% well without apologizing. That is, they plan, organize, staff, direct, and control. And you don't make friends when you've got the manager hat on. As a bookkeeper in practice, you're going to have to wear 2 hats, leader and manager. As an A leader, you are going to be wholly and solely responsible for the destination that you're heading to, and you are going to inspire your team to go there with you. And you do that by having a solid brand, a vision, a mission, and so on. Okay. And being non-negotiable around that. Okay. So when I was a B leader around plan, organize, staff, direct, and control, I accepted excuses. Yeah. Has that helped a little, Coral? And then the book will go into it in more detail. Thank you. Transformational success leaves clues. So when I reflected and I was like, okay, how am I going to help bookkeepers to build their thriving practice, delight their clients, and live their dream on their terms? This is what I want to do. So how am I going to do it? Well, I know the 7 ingredients, but then I was like, okay, well, back at the beginning of my journey, if I turned up in a time machine, what would I have needed? Well, I thought, well, I would have needed a team to build out all the assets for sure, right? So I would have needed this dream team that we'll go through in a minute, right? So, would have needed someone to serve me up this amazing A team. Then I would have needed the education. So I would have needed to know all the things I don't know, right? So I would have needed all the learning, the knowledge, right? So in the program, for example, that's your academy. Then I would have needed the team to build out all those key assets, like help to understand what a brand is, build my brand, then build all the key brand assets and the product ladder that I talk about in my book. So the content, the welcome line nurture assets, also known as lead magnets, the core products, the what's next on the menu. Once I had all that, I would have needed someone to hold my hand every step of the way, help me implement everything, and allow me to actually be vulnerable enough to say what's working, what's not working, so that when I was getting it wrong, they could direct and redirect me. Yeah, kindly, gently, but maybe a bit tough as well. And then on top of all that, a mastermind group of my peers who were getting it right and winning, but that I could share with and learn from. So these are the 5 things that I would have needed. Okay. I can tell you right now, in all my learnings, I've learned that you won't win the game without a winning team. In fact, this is so true. If I have the best, I'm going to use netball because I know netball better than football. If I have the best netball player in the world, and we all know that she is the best netball player, and we put her on the court against the worst team in the world. I mean, they're 12-year-olds. Yeah. Who's going to win? Who's going to win, the team or the solo, even though the solo is the best? Yeah. I can tell you right now that the 12-year-old girls that are clueless are still going to win, especially if they know the rules of the game, even if they're the worst team in the world. Okay. So Richard Branson, Elon Musk, they know this. They recruit team to implement. So time and time again, this is where I see bookkeepers fail. Being Jill of all trades, master of one. And what happens, and what happened to me, is I became the amateur who was expensive to deal with. We've all heard of, if you think it's expensive to deal with a professional, try dealing with an amateur. Okay. I didn't create these slides. I am the leader, and Coral, for you, this is another way to explain it. So I'm the leader that created this event that inspired my brand and graphic design manager, Mickey, who you read about in my book. I inspired him to pull these together. And then when he pulled them together, as a leader, I gave him high-level direction and redirection on what I needed changed. Okay? So I'm being a leader. But then I also put the manager hat on to plan, organize, staff, direct, and control. So these are the top 10 skills you may need to hire. Okay. So when I decided to build the Strategic Bookkeeper transformation program, I went from investing a little bit of money in this because it was just for my bookkeeping practice to investing a lot of money. I mean, a make me nervous amount of money, right? I mean, I feel a little bit sick amount of money because I decided I was doing this for the many. Okay. And I wanted to really fulfill what in the pit of my stomach felt like my life's purpose. So I went about recruiting a killer team to work alongside me. So you can think about what skills you have, what skills you may need to hire. Okay. I have been for a long time quite a natural gifted marketing copywriter, even though I have a marketing copywriter on our team who does a lot of and collaborates with me on all of this. And she does all the copy that you get inside the program as well. Okay. Thank you, Coral. I thought that was an opportunity. So Coral's just said, great example, explanation. So thank you. And to be crystal clear, you will not need to recruit this team if you join my program. Inside my book, I try and explain, please don't do X, Y, Z. Please don't do all this stuff if you're joining the program because it's done for you. Okay. So now let's look at using the 7 steps in a little bit more detail. What I'm going to show you next is a mind map. So this mind map I use almost every day in the transformation program, okay? And when we go into more detail on how to use the 7 steps, so brand, menu, attraction, conversion, succession, systems, and team. So brand being why you exist. So you may have heard of Simon Sinek's start with why. I like to say start with who, where, and then why, but start with why. So absolutely, I completely agree. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Then your menu is your key brand asset, or like I like to call it the first child of brand, okay? Because if you haven't read the book, it's not going to make as much sense. So what you're going to have is the ability to go back, listen to this again, use the resource that you get and combine it with the book. Or you will also have the opportunity to join my program because the doors are opening only today. We only open them every 4 months, okay? Attraction is client attraction. How do I attract new business to my practice, okay? Then conversion, how do I convert a maximum number of prospective clients into high value VIP clients, okay? What succession is what's next on the menu? How do I get a simple system of advisory called Strategic Bookkeeping? And how do I sell it to prospective clients from the get-go and upgrade existing clients? The doors to the program close on the 8 p.m. on the 26th of July. So there's just over 2 weeks to join. Thank you for that question. Systems is standard operating procedures. So we're into back end. This first 5 is front end. And my program is split into front end and back end. We have different people on the team. So I handle all front end brand marketing and selling. My right hand, Jo, handles all back end systems team, and she formally heads up the Strategic Bookkeeper system. So the system of advisory as well. Okay. Okay. Systems and team. So we want superstars and workhorses on our team, not time wasters and yo-yos. Okay. So as we look at the mind map, this is absolutely 100% 2 things. It's a diagnostics and it's a checklist, okay? And I use it every single day. I use it with bookkeepers and entrepreneurs, actually, as a diagnostics and a checklist. So this is your mind map, and this is just the same version, just looks a bit different, because I want to show you that on the left-hand side is what you really should have nailed before you ever answer the door to a prospective client. So in my book, you'll see PC means prospective client. Okay. Then on the right-hand side is really all the other things, the process of generating new business in my practice and also standard operating procedures. Okay. So it's a diagnostics because you get to ask yourself, what do I understand? Do I even know what that means? And have I got it dialed into my practice? It took me well over a decade to dial in the left-hand side. So 5 years in, I had achieved a lifestyle practice. I didn't actually fully understand how I'd done it. Yeah, I went about analyzing my success and understanding how I'd achieved my success. And then I went about doing lots of education to understand all the other moving parts so I could make my bookkeeping practice unshakable and unbreakable. Because 5 years in, while I'd done really, really well, I would say I still had a practice that could be broken. Yeah. Today, it's unshakable and unbreakable due to what you see here on the left-hand side. So while this took me a decade to nail, in the program, you can nail it in 2 weeks. You get everything from day one. And then I would say to learn and just get this sorted so that it's done, ready, go, allow a couple of weeks. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is just pause for a second and just let you digest on the action plan, because I want to look at what action you're going to take. Okay. So in terms of the mind map, I'm going to let you just digest diagnostics, checklist, and I'm going to have a little look at my notes. So this is like we're going kind of beyond the 7 steps. So the second podcast in my public podcast on pricing goes into employee mindset. Yeah. This is a big one that holds a lot of us back. And I definitely had this early on, and I probably didn't fully understand it until I went down a rabbit hole to share my thought leadership. You'll hear a lot of stuff on how to fix price, how to value price. I've coined the phrase outcome billing in our industry. And I believe that the root cause of why we mess up so badly around pricing is actually spending our lives as an entrepreneur, because that's where we get paid by the hour. And until we break out of that mindset, we really can't move to nailing outcome billing. Okay. And you'll only hear that from me. So the next thing is to go to market ready to work smart, not hard. Yeah. So if I gave you 10 clients in your bookkeeping practice and each one of them was prepared to pay you $15,000, right, per annum, you've got $150,000 in revenue with, if it's just you serving them, low cost of sales, right? Versus bookkeepers that go to market and pick up clients and charge them inappropriately. That's building a busy practice. So before you ever answer the door to a PC, your ability to create a mindset and strategies and assets of working smarter, not harder, that's what I would have done if I start all over again, is so key to building that thriving practice, to being one of the 1 out of 10, not the 9 out of 10. Okay. The next thing you need, the pricing system and the productized services. Okay. So productized services and pricing system. I started to get that right in 2015. I doubled my net profits that year. And then since over the last 9 years, I've refined it. Okay. To a point where I have the most incredible productized services full of benefits and outcomes rather than features. Okay. Features are the bookkeeping, the BAS lodgement, the bank reconciliation, all the stuff like that. Outcomes and benefits are what people will buy and pay for. I'll give you an example. Nobody, including myself, really wants to pay, or nobody wants to pay for bookkeeping. It's a grudge purchase. I'd rather not pay for it myself. But if I'm not sleeping very well because I'm stressed out about the fact that my books are not up to date and I've realized that I don't actually know whether I'm making money or not. This is a typical entrepreneur. And I don't know whether I'm making money or not. And actually a few people have been tapping me on the shoulder, like staff, like suppliers. And I realized I think I might have mounting debts. I don't think I've looked at a BAS or paid the tax office for 3 years. That must be racking up. I'm probably looking at losing everything, and the pressure is actually making my marriage melt down. Therefore, I haven't had a good night's sleep for about 6 months. What's someone going to pay you for a good night's sleep? So when I was in Ubud in Bali, and I was getting really good at all this stuff, right? And a prospective client, I was talking to a prospective client while I was there, and he needed a catch up. And I said, give me a credit card and I'll give you a good night's sleep. And he said, how did you know? People don't buy what we do. They're not buying the bookkeeping. They're buying the benefit of the bookkeeping. And this is a rule of the game. It's in all the leading books. It's in Simon Sinek's Start With Why. It's in my book. I explain it in detail. I give you a workbook. Okay. And this is what we nail inside the program. So I just wanted to sit on that one in terms of your productized services and your ability to learn, and it will take a while to learn to sell the benefits. And I'm constantly coaching inside my tribe. And I'm so grateful that they allow me to show up and keep coaching them, okay, when I need to direct and redirect them. I was just saying to one of our tribe members that has posted, she's running an event. She said, why has nobody signed up? And I said, because you're selling the what, not the why. Okay. And I did New Education, which becomes a private podcast inside the program. And the bookkeeper said, got it. She takes action. She's so accountable. She's fantastic. So pricing system, productized services, product ladder. I didn't know what the hell that was. The hell's a product ladder? But it's an old school marketing principle. And I explain it in my book. And in a nutshell, you're all selling core products, right? So you've got your bookkeeping and so on that you sell. But there are 2 steps before that product ladder. One is your content, simple. Think website, socials. Where do people go to find out all about you that's valuable? But then there's welcome lines. We just did implementers on this today. Yeah. Have a look at the book Influence. So welcome lines. So where you have an ability to give someone a gated nurture asset, also known as a lead magnet. I hate the phrase lead magnet. You won't have to sell with me. You'll learn how to get people to self-assess using you. Okay. So a welcome line, for example, a file health check. Yeah. So I teach you how to sell a file health check as one of the many strategies that mean that you will convert far more people than once they become a client. So if you sell a welcome line, for example, for $100, that's much easier. And then as they go through the customer journey, they are 10 times more likely to buy that next $1,500 catch-up rectification they need. Yeah. So your conversion rates skyrocket as well. There's so much more to it. But to understand, we looked at 10 welcome lines I give you in the program today. Okay. Consultations, an event, a business health check, a file health check. I give you a done for you book that you co-author with me. I give you the Better in Business podcast. We looked at a top 10 or 11 today. Okay. So welcome lines are key. And then what's next on the menu? So the product ladder that you'll be using every day with other businesses that really know how to use this stuff. Okay. So the conversion process, needs analysis, welcome lines, because we sell a welcome line first. Video sales letter. This is so key, such a key asset. And then follow up. All right. So this is what you have to have nailed before you answer the door to a PC. Okay. And then over here, all the other things, audience attraction. And I just want to point out business development activities because nobody's really coaching around this, and a website won't win you work. A website will give someone a place to go through the customer journey and build know, like, and trust and all the other key pillars of influence. But business development activities will win you work. I'm going to give you one right now. So in the chat box, could you please tell me, if you are a bookkeeper in practice, do you have any past clients or inactive clients? If you tell me that in the chat box. And I'm just looking at our participants. So we've still got 27 in the room, which is great because this is a good one. I get bookkeepers like, oh, you can do this one with no collateral, nothing ready to go. You may not maximize the opportunity, but if you tell me, have you got any past or inactive clients that you'd be happy enough to work with? Okay, Coral's just starting out. One client, family business. Okay, Coral, I love that you've got this seed that you've planted. So I'm excited about what you might do. So read the book. I want you to join the program, but you'll see that shortly because I want to help you build a Ferrari. But for everyone else in the room, I'm going to make an assumption that we've got some bookkeepers in practice that have got past clients or inactive clients. You'll have some you don't want back. That's okay. That's normal. But most of us would have past or inactive. And these can be a client that you started a catch-up job for whatever reason. They went dark, they went cold. Yeah. So manners marketing, keep in touch marketing. Okay. The database nurture. So I want you to grab your phone, hold one of these past or inactive clients in your mind that you like, that you'd like to work with, and think, oh yeah, I don't know what happened to them. I wonder how they're going. It's exactly what I do. So I want you to send them a text message, just a genuine one. For example, real life example, Hi, Sally. You just popped into my head. I was just wondering if you're managing to keep the books up to date or if you need a hand. 2 weeks later, she reaches out and she's like, you always think of me, don't you? I'm so grateful. No, I'm not keeping up to date. Could you give me a hand? Okay, so I want you to take that strategy because bookkeepers tell me that it works really, really well and it's one of the simple ones. Okay, so moving on. So now it's just time to take action. I just want you on your action plan to think about how are you going to find new clients, onboard them without price as a priority, stay relevant and thrive in a world of automation, AI, robotics, and cheap labor, recruit and manage a winning team, build new systems, choose your own adventure. It depends what problems you're facing and what you need, okay? Because you're going to want to take action in order to scale your gross profit to 66%. Because we see a lot of bookkeepers only able to scale to 50%. We want you to scale to 66% and above. That's gross profit, not net profit. Okay, so net profit under management, like in a practice like mine, where it's like I don't really have to do much in there at all, you should be able to pull 33% net profit out, but be really time rich. So the 4-hour work week, work 4 hours, pull 33% of your revenue out as net profit or higher, okay, as rough figures. So scale your income to 200,000 plus with you plus 2 staff and have, which is what we can show you. It's called the Small But Mighty Blueprint, and have lots of time wealth. So these are all the things that I've done. I played the long game and I refuse to believe that failure had any meaning, because I know my success, like your success, is inevitable, especially inside the program. Your success is inevitable, okay? Feel free in the chat box to tell me any action that you are going to take. And the next thing we're going to do is just have a look. So I will walk you through now how to build a thriving practice, delight your clients, and live your dream on your terms by joining a thriving community inside the program, if you would like to know about that. So now I'm going to share this with you so you can self-assess and share with you the bonuses as well. And then also, please know that you are in front of a coach, okay? A high-level coach. If I was doing one-on-one, you wouldn't want to know my rate. So you're in front of me, use me, okay? We're going to be wrapping up fairly soon, okay? So joining the transformation program is how you fast track your success. Results from the tribe indicate this fast tracking is equal to 10 years of hard work. Okay, remembering 9 out of 10 bookkeepers will fail, but the TSB program guarantees your success. Yeah, if you're willing to work the system, then I'm going to work it with you. If you're willing to play the long game and know that your success is inevitable, your success is inevitable. Yeah. I'm going to admit that there was a moment of envy when I realized that the tribe get the kind of results that took me a decade to get. Okay. And a big part of that is the done for you. Let me be clear that this program is a done for you along with a done with you. It is not a DIY. Yeah. When I went back in a time machine and I spoke to myself, I realized that to get the results and get them fast, why wouldn't I give everyone everything I built in a leveraged way so we could come together in a licensed membership program? So I could certify you as a strategic bookkeeper and give you all the collateral, the signature brochure, everything you needed to hit the ground running. Yes, it was a bit like being a crazy scientist. It took me a while to figure out how to do it, but I also believe that because this is my purpose, my life's purpose, my dharma, I truly believe that's one of the reasons I was able to do it. Yeah. Because my North Star, my North Star, your destination, my deep desire and mission is to help women globally build true financial independence and the ability to put themselves first. That is to prioritize their physical, mental, and spiritual health. That's the destination I want you to get to, and that's my North Star. So how am I going to get you there? Well, if that's the destination, then it's in the vehicle, and the vehicle is the transformation program. It's the 7-step method along with the 5 big keys. Okay, it's the team, education, assets done for you, implementation, and support. So that's how I'm going to get you there. The pain or problems. So the pain or problems that we're going to solve together, that we're going to overcome together. So not enough clients and no pipeline strategy, lack of strong competitive advantage, massive one, unable to sell my value and losing work to cheap or other competitors, high revenue, low profit, busy, not thriving, unable to make team and systems really work, no system of advisory to sell or how to sell it. Because even if you have advisory, creating demand and desire via a product ladder and a conversion process is another thing. No support to do this. So the prize or the payoffs from working together. Assets and strategies in place, some on autopilot, right? For example, the event. Once you get it up and you understand how to use it, which I actually do for you, I give you a pre-recorded on-demand event that is third-party endorsement, which is one of the key pillars of influence that you can use from the day you join my program, okay? So assets and strategies in place, some on autopilot, a visible and invisible pipeline of work, a world-class brand and competitive advantage to onboard clients without price as a priority, raving fan clients who get and see my value, making retention a breeze. Future-proofed, relevant, and thriving in a world of automation, AI, robotics, and cheap labor. We are personally testing robotics right now. The option to build a small but mighty practice with me plus 2 staff, 200K income, and lots of time wealth. I recommend that you scale to no more than 5 staff. If you want to go beyond that, the choice is yours, but I would love to show you how to build small but mighty. I'm an A leader and an A manager with an A team. We are going to do this together by nailing the 7 steps and using the 5 big keys, which I promised I would elaborate on, which I'll do now. So in terms of team, joining us means you won't need to hire this top 10. So imagine the saving, imagine the impact. Okay, this is a team I recruit to work alongside me to build your assets and strategies. As a leader, I curate everything. Okay, so education, the academy, mobile app, and desktop. Learn exactly what you need to know in detail to build your small but mighty practice with the income and lifestyle you want and deserve. No time, no problem. All education is built for the busy multitasking mum and dad just like me. So what I have done is everything is very audio friendly. Okay, I even put a lot of stuff in the native podcast app. So some of our content, I make sure that it opens in your native podcast app as private podcasts so you can digest it on the go. Okay, and I'll explain a bit more of that as we go, because that's kind of in the implementation section. So assets, $1 million collateral. Imagine being given an entire suite of digital assets, literally everything you need to gain an immediate world-class competitive advantage, a practice in a box. That would allow you to choose your own adventure to win high-value clients, increase your prices, systemize, make networking work, and so on. Choose your own adventure. Honestly, the assets are mind-blowing. That's what a tribe member says. So implementation, coaching, and mentoring. Okay, so this is where I wanted to elaborate on how you get it done, like the time component. So we're going to hold your hand every step of the way in weekly coaching sessions, daily support in the private Facebook group built for the multitasking mum and dad, recorded and available in your native app for optimal user experience. So all implementation coaching sessions, and there's one a week on a Wednesday, and then there's which is Joe and I, and then there's one a week on a Monday, which is blockbuster coaching with me, all available in the native podcast app. And in terms of implementation, this is a vault that you use on the job. So I want you to digest the content as a busy multitasking bookkeeper, but implement on the job. You're not going to go and you can look at everything peripheral to doing the job as well if you want, but ultimately when you need to look at your database and increase your clients, your pricing by 40% or more, you're going to be using the pricing academy. Yeah, we just did a price rise challenge. You get access to all of that podcast style when you come in. We just did a business development challenge where I showed up every day for 3 weeks. You get access to all of that podcast style when you come in. We are running both of those annually as well as fresh challenges, okay? But you implement on the job. And the support, your mastermind group. So it is proven, it's a proven fact that being part of a mastermind group will elevate your success to the highest of heights, the tribe private community. Okay, this is what the tribe lists of one of the key aspects. Never feel isolated or alone again. The tribe and our team are there for you 24/7. Be inspired by the wins and get support through the entrepreneur's journey. I do run a global business, so I get Facebook Messenger messages 24/7, and I love them, and I'm a culprit for answering at all hours. Okay, so so everything on that left-hand side, you will, like, everything on this you get when you join, but on the left-hand side, it's very important to understand you're able to nail all this. Okay, I will help you with progress over perfection. Okay, as much as you need, as I'd love to see you. In fact, once early on, I said to a tribe member, so left-hand side, you've got all that nailed, Jer? And she said, no. And I said, let me go through it again. And then I said, you've got it all of it nailed, right? And she said, yes. So even you will struggle to believe that you've got all of that nailed so quickly, because once again, there are elements you need to learn and implement, but primarily this is a done for you along with the done with you, okay? You'll also get access to our little black book. Okay, so that's remarkable resources and people. The next thing I want to point out is Ask the Tribe. Okay, so Giselle might add this link in. We've got so many pages of reviews. It's really hard to publish them all. So we've published a few. You'll see them at this link, testimonials and reviews. You'll see a video from a tribe member. You'll see more of them in our program page. We have so many, okay? And so that's one link where you can see what the tribe's saying. This is what one person has said, so we've just picked one out. I was one of those people that was sitting on the fence, having been disappointed by previous programs and feeling unsure about making time for it, with 3 kids and a husband to attend to. After a conversation with Jeannie, I decided to take the leap, and I'm so glad I did. The program seamlessly fits into my lifestyle, allowing me to apply the strategies on the job. Jeannie's responsiveness and the incredible support from the tribe make the experience a standout. Not to mention the done-for-you assets and the affordability sets it apart from my past experiences. My advice, don't overthink it, just go for it. Still gives me shivers when I read them. So the transformation program comes with a money-back guarantee. Very simple. The entire program paid for itself in weeks. Some tribe members say it's pretty exciting when I get an email that says from a tribe member that says the whole program just paid for itself in a week. Okay, so it's pretty easy to get a return on investment, but I guarantee you will. So I guarantee that after you complete your lap around the sun with me, so it's a 12-month program, the program will have paid for itself. Yes, it can pay for itself really, really early, but it's not my job to tell you how fast you need to move through it, okay? And actually, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you go. It's actually your mindset and willingness to just keep going that will get you there, okay? So the investment, let's go through that now. I designed it. So when I took that time machine back to see myself, I said to myself, all right, Jeannie, well, in terms of paying for this thing, how are you going to do it? Well, I started my bookkeeping practice during the global financial crisis. Okay, so I said to myself, well, it would have been good if I could just pay a small weekly fee that paid for itself week on week as I got results. So that's what I did. Okay, so the risk is actually for me, not you. So that's what I did, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I also reflected. I went back in a time machine and I reflected on my journey. And I thought about what kind of program and support that would have been ideal for me, but what was available then and now. So franchises that are 40 or 50,000, other systems that are 7K and up, coaching and mentoring from 10K to 36,000 a year. So ours is a fraction of the fee. It is priced by a bookkeeper for bookkeepers. It's $99 USD a week for a commitment of 1 year, a lap around the sun, okay? And there is an upfront payment option. I am far more passionate about the weekly because I built this for bookkeepers and mums like me. I didn't have the extra money back then. Yeah, I really needed that $99 a week to pay for itself week on week. And Deb, the one that you heard, has just increased her profit by 331%. 331%. More than revenue. If I heard her revenue increased and not her profit, I would not be happy, okay? But basically, Deb said to me, and she's, like I said, she's in that podcast. She said, Jeannie, I'm paying the $99 a week because she didn't have any more money. No more money. I'm not even going to go into detail of her circumstances. But she said, and I pay that fee and week on week I get results. that mean I'm making more than the fee. That's what I wanted in my heart, okay? We get about 80% of bookkeepers pay the weekly and 20% pay the upfront, and there is a 10% discount for paying upfront, okay? We do have a 30-day trial option because I understand that fear, doubt, and indecision hold some bookkeepers back. But I need to make two things clear. So first of all, with the 30-day trial, we give you access to everything for a month except the Canva assets. So the Canva assets, what that means is, for the $1 Million Storybook brochure, you'll see it demonstrated in the videos that trains you. But to get your hands on the brochure so that you can make it your own and use it, you're not going to get that asset when you come in on the trial, okay? One of the questions I get is, if I come in on the trial and in 2 days or in a day or in an hour, I think, no, I just want everything, give me everything. Can I let you know? Yes, you can. And you can email us and the team will unlock everything and note that you're no longer on the 30-day trial. But if you would rather go on the 30-day trial, it's $396 US. I don't give money back or anything for that because it's just, you can try it for a month. There's lots of admin costs for us. But if you're someone who would rather that, you can have that. What I'm passionate about is the low weekly payment. And as I said, it comes with a money back guarantee. So return on investment, so easy. Find one new client, upgrade one new client. You've made the entire program back. If you are willing to turn up and use the system and allow me to work the system with you, this is easy, okay? And in terms of investment, what one person said, there is nothing like this program on the planet today, nothing this comprehensive, no one leveraging the power of a network to provide you with done-for-you marketing collateral and a world-class competitive advantage. So I do get asked, what about after the first lap around the sun? So year one is all about becoming a strategic bookkeeper, and we have got a cohort graduating in August, okay? So this is your foundation year. After graduation, you'll be invited to join the graduate club and level up to become a world-class entrepreneur. You'll have the option to remain part of the tribe by selecting the membership that's right for you, gold, silver, or bronze. Okay, the choice is yours. I am making sure that these options start from as little as $23 US per week, because this is a licensed membership program, meaning that the assets are licensed. Once you finish your first lap around the sun, if you see the value in the assets and you want to continue to use them, I want to make sure that's easily accessible. So I want you in the graduation club. I want to level you up, but you will have the 3 options. You can absolutely opt out as well. Okay, you would be opting out of a licensed membership program, and therefore you just wouldn't use the licensed asset, like the certified strategic bookkeeper badge, okay, as an example. Yeah, but if you want to remain in there, the bronze option is only $99 a month, also known as $23 a week. So less than a subscription to a bookkeeper association, and I'm going to make sure that I continue to make everything accessible. Most of our year one right now wants to go through to graduate club and level up, and they unlock an all access pass to a whole lot more content and leveling up to become a world-class entrepreneur, okay? 3 excuses that keep us stuck is time, money, and fear. So as I mentioned earlier, I won't ask you for more time, okay? I built this for the busy multitasking bookkeeper just like me. Digest the content podcast style, implement on the job. It comes with a money-back guarantee and a payment plan, but this is the one that holds most people back. Fear, doubt, and indecision can cost you everything. Yeah. I let go of fear, doubt, and indecision in about July last year. I had to go to a dark place to do it. And I backed myself and I made decisions that are still paying dividends today. Yeah. I sold and bought property that I just would have been scared to do before. Yeah. Against advice, but I followed my gut and I let go of fear and I made decisions. Okay. So frozen by fear. Frozen in fear of making a decision, frozen in fear because you once paid a coach and it didn't work out. So this is what holds bookkeepers back from the business and life of their dreams, okay? So now I will show you the bonus offers and time to choose. So there is a fast acting bonus. So you guys are the first to see this. You're the first to get access to the public doors opening. We did have a special offer for our database. Okay, so for this public opening today, the first 5 signups will get a bonus valued at $1,000. It's going to be a small planning mastermind with me. Okay, so you're going to come into a very small mastermind with me where we're going to focus on a plan, because we know if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And today's success was planned yesterday. So this is going to help you look at where you are right now, where you want to be in the future, and the action that you need to take to get there in a planning mastermind with me personally. And we have another bonus, which is going to be available if you sign up before July 26th at 8 p.m. And that is the Pricing Academy is usually stand alone to purchase. It's valued at $1,000. It's priceless. What you find in there is even better than what I use to double my net profits in a year. So that's my entire suite of productized services, plug and play. So take them, use them immediately. How to reprice legacy clients, my entire pricing strategy, a pricing calculator is in there, okay, and everything you need, plus the support that you need to use it. Okay, my friend, now it is time to take action. So what are you going to do with what you learned today? The way I see it, you've got 2 options. You can go it alone to try and save some money, or you can back yourself and go for it and join my tribe. And let me tell you, we are knocking it out of the ballpark. That's not a sales pitch. That is me serving you, dare I say, courageously. To find success, I 100% know you need the mechanics, which is like the keys to the kingdom, but you also need to get your mindset right and be super productive. And these are all things I help you with inside the program. I could go on about this forever because I really want this for you. Have a prosperous week, and I'll see you in the next episode.